everybody, welcome back to my channel. I really hope you are well today. This is a bit of a delayed video because I'm actually going to be creating with Papercraft Society box number 24, which was done by the hugely talented Sam Calcott of Made to Suprise. This box came out at least 2 boxes ago and it is the last one I got, sadly. But life kind of happened and this is the first chance I've had to sit down and actually create with the box. So I hope you enjoy the video, and if you've got this box I hope it gives you some inspiration on using whatever you've got left. If you're not already subscribed to this channel, I would really appreciate it if you would consider doing so. I do all kinds of videos on this channel, so hopefully if you're watching this, you will enjoy this video and press that subscribe button and help my channel grow. So without any further ado, let's jump into what I'm going to be making today. I think the main thing I want to use for today's project is actually the papers that came with the box. Far too often I have used the dies and the stamps and completely ignored the papers that come with the boxes, so I think that's what I'm going to be focusing on today, as well as these amazing sentiments here, because this is the kind of thing I would quite happily hoard, so I want to make sure I use those. The card I'm going to be making today is actually an adaptation of the quadruple fold that I made last Christmas. I will try and leave that linked in the description box of this video. It was definitely a fun one to do, and this is just kind of a natural progression to that. So I'm going to tell you what we're going to need. Let me know in the comments, do you prefer to just have a link to my blog with all the measurements on, or do you prefer to have them all at the beginning of the video so you can write them down as you go? Definitely let me know, but I'm going to give you measurements now, and then I will also do a blog post and link that in the description box, so you've just got to click on it and it'll go straight to the right post for you. The first thing we need is a piece of cardstock. This has been cut to 6 inches by 12 inches, and we are going to do some scoring on this. So we're going to score it at 2 inches, 4 inches, 6 inches and 8 inches. That's all the scoring we need to do for now. Now we're going to fold and burnish the score lines we've just made. So working from right to left, this first line here we're going to do as a valley. The next one will be a mountain. Then we're going to go to a valley. And then we're going to go to a mountain again. And I'm just going to go over the top of those and reinforce them with the end of my scoring tool. And you should have something that looks like that now. The next thing to do is to cut out DSP to size. So you're going to need 4 pieces of DSP that measure 1 3/4 by 5 3/4. I'm going to use 2 different ones from the kit. I'm going to be using the one with the candy canes and the Gingerbread Man, and then I'm going to use the stripy one as well. So if you've got a really nice piece of patterned DSP, that's what you want to have as the predominant one, because the other one you're not really going to see. So I'm going to take my first piece of DSP, which is the Gingerbread Man. I'm going to add some wet glue onto the back of it really quick. And then making I've got it the right way up, I'm going to be putting this piece on the very end here. Then I'm going to bring in the stripy piece and this one is going to go in the valley. Now this one doesn't really get seen very much, but it's nice, I think, to still put DSP in there rather than just a plain piece of green or something. I mean, it's up to you, whatever you think works best for you and whatever your preference is, but I just really like that DSP, so putting that in there. Next is the next gingerbread person. And lastly, we have the stripy one. And then just making sure there's no glue seeped out and just reinforcing the fold lines while they're drying. For this piece here, you're going to need a piece of DSP that measures 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. So I've literally used the offcut that I had from this stripy one, and also because there's a pattern to it, I've made sure to line it up so that it continues through the card. And then to layer over the top of that, we need a plain piece of cardstock which measures 3 5/8 by 5 5/8. This is where we will be writing our sentiment. So I'll just get those stuck down and I'll be right back. And there we go, that's all stuck down. So this is how your card should be looking by now. And the next thing we're going to do is to create a pop-out piece for the middle. So we'll move this to one side for a second, and we're going to bring back in our scoreboard. And I have a piece of red cardstock that matches the one I made my card base out of, and this measures 7 inches by 2 3/4, and I'm going to be scoring this at 3 1/2. Just fold that in half and burnish that fold line off. And the next thing I have is 2 pieces of DSP, and these measure 3 3/8 by 2 1/2. Again, I've just used up the offcuts from the Gingerbread Man DSP that came in the pack, and I am just going to really quickly adhere these onto the red piece of cardstock. So those are now stuck down, and I'm just going to again reinforce this fold while it's drying and get rid of my scoreboard. The next thing I need to do is attach this to the card base. So I'm going to bring the card base back in, and this piece is going to go on like so. So it will close shut, and then you open your card and it will pop out. So we'll start with the front piece first because I think it'll be easier. So I'm going to bring in my wet glue again. And all I'm going to do is put a little bit of glue on here. And then I'm going to position it roughly where I want it on the front of the card like so, with the card sharp. So I think I want it about there, and then I'm just going to add a little bit of glue straight onto the DSP here. And by having my card like this, and by having the pop out piece like this, I can see roughly where I need to go with the glue here. There we go. Then all I need to do is fold that over like so, and I'll just hold it like that for a minute, let that dry. So this is quite a quick dry glue, so I'm going to move on to the back now. So I'm just going to open it here, and again I can see where I need the glue to go. I'm just going to bit the tiniest little bit along this edge here. And then the rest will actually be directly onto the DSP here. Like so. And just close it over and hold it in place for a minute. So this is how your card should look now when you have it closed. It looks like this, and then when you open it out, the central bit pops out and you have your message here. So the next thing I'm going to do is to actually add to the pop out parts, and that's where I'm going to bring in these beautiful quotes and sentiments, because I think they'll fit really nicely on the middle. So I'm just going to choose which ones I'm going to use. So I think I definitely like this Happy Holidays one here. I remember when I first saw these and that one just jumped out at me straight away. So I'm going to cut that, and I'm going to actually try and use a die to cut these out. But I thought to make it easier on myself, I'd just trim it off. And I really quite like this one here. I don't know if it will fit onto the panel that we've got. I'm going to give it a go. Not sure that I'll be using a die on that one though. So I'm just going to use a die on this one, and I'll trim this one by hand, and then I'll be straight back to you. That's now those two cut out. I actually used a stitched edge die to cut out the Happy Holidays, and the recipe for a Merry Christmas I just trimmed down on my trimmer. Also in the kit we got this really pretty glitter card, and I've decided I actually want to use that with these because I don't think they're going to look quite right on their own. So I thought I'd make a layer for each. So I think what I'm going to do is use another nesting die to cut around and make the layer for that, and I'm going to do the same on this one, and I'm going to give them both a layer before I put them onto the pop out. So I'm going to do that and I'll be right back. As you can see, I've now cut those matte layers out of the glitter card and I've adhered them to the craft card sentiments. I actually decided I really liked the recipe for a Merry Christmas on the greeting side of the card, so I've changed what I'm going to do slightly, but I've also put this one over here, and I think I'm going to pop that up on foam pads shortly. So because I've changed my mind about the exact layout of the card, I now need something on this section here. So I have cut another piece of glitter card and a piece of blank cardstock that matches this one, and I'm just going to be putting that on there. Before I stick anything down though, I want to stamp this, and I'm going to use the stamps that came with the set, and I think I'm going to use the From Our Home to Yours. So I'm going to be stamping in the VersaFine ink. I really like this for stamping, it does it beautifully, and I've put my sentiment on a acrylic block. So all I need to do now is ink it up and get it bang in the middle. Just like that. All that's now left to do is to adhere that all to the card, so I'm going to do that and I'll be right back. And this is our finished card. I'm really happy with how this has come out. So it folds flat like so, then you open it up, it pops up, displays your messages, and you can write your message or your greeting over here. I think it's a really nice card. It does stand up nicely as well. And with a little bit of persuasion, it does fit in these envelopes, which measure just under 6.5 by 4.5, and they've got the nice self seal on them as well. So a really nice, quick and easy card, really easy to batch make. It would be entirely up to you whether you wanted to decorate that anymore. Personally, I like it like that. I like that the papers do the talking and the glitter card draws your eye. I really hope you've enjoyed this demonstration today, and hopefully you'll give it a go and give me a tag on social media. All my social channels will be linked in the description box of this video. I will leave the blog post for the measurements in the description box also, and then all you need to do is click on the link and it will take you straight to the right post so you can grab your measurements and not have to sit there with a pen and paper furiously scribbling away. But do let me know if you'd rather have them just called out at the beginning of the videos. I'm happy to do either or both. So that's all for today. I really hope you've enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think of the card below. I'll be back soon with more videos, but until next time, take care and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.